Hello, my name is Jamie and I'm the founder of a company called Alpine Dragons based here in Norway. I'm just going to go through what is considered the minimum essential equipment that you should be carrying in your rucksack while making a ascent of a mountain. For example, the one you see behind me, Uranostind, here in the Jotunheim, the kind of equipment you would take for the summer and into the autumn months. There is a strong tradition in Norway of self-reliance while being in the mountains, and while rescue services here are exceptionally good and they will come out and get you, there is still considered that you should really be looking after yourself. Obviously, sometimes you get unlucky. You can break your ankle in the street, you can break your ankle in the mountains, and the rescue services will be very willing to come out and get you in that situation. But there is an expectation that you will really try to look after yourself the best you can. I'm just going to go through some of the essential equipment that I think people should be carrying, or commonly considered should be carried in their rucksacks. Well, obviously, we need to have a rucksack which can take it all. So quickly going through the kind of basic standard equipment. Some of this you would share with a group of friends. I'm here on my own today, lucky for me, so I have to carry it all myself. In the bottom of the bag, often called a windsack in Norwegian, but a kind of bivy bag. This one is good enough for two people. It keeps the wind off you and keeps some of the rain off as well. Essential. Pops in the bottom. I always carry one of these, blizzard bag. It's like a blanket, like a sleeping bag. It's not thin, it's made of several layers, and I've been told it's around about a 2-season sleeping bag. This is a blanket we can wrap around you, so if you are unlucky and you fell and broke a leg, you don't have to lift the person, you can just wrap it around them. Again, very light, put it in. Carried it for years, only used it a couple of times. Even on a beautiful sunny day like today, top of the mountains up there, I think I read in the forecast it's -4. In the sun it's really lovely, but when the sun goes away, I guarantee we'll get cold. I saw some ice on the way up here on some of the streams. Therefore, synthetic or waterproof down jacket, especially in the summer and the autumn. It's still quite damp in Norway, so I would advise a synthetic warm jacket. Again, put it in the rucksack, get it back from the bottom. Obviously, Norway is not renowned for being a desert-like climate. It can rain. Waterproof trousers are really essential. They're big muscle sets on the legs, so I really would advise you to take waterproofs. A rain jacket can tolerate the type of conditions that you'll face here in Norway. Torrential, wind-blown rain. Get that in. I would always advise to take extra wool clothing. You hear Norwegians always talking about thermal clothing. We always talk about wool. It retains its warmth when wet. A pair of leggings. Again, the reason why I take these is if you happen to be unlucky and hurt yourself, or the sun just goes away, it can get really chilly quickly here. But also, if you're crossing a river and you fall in and get wet, then you can just put on these thermals underneath your waterproofs and you're good to go again. Again, a wool top. That's into addition to the wool top I've got already and this fleece I've got on. Spare pair of gloves. You slipped off the mountain. Spare pair of gloves. Essential. Especially when you're climbing up on snow. With the snow in the Jotunheim all year round, it's very easy for those gloves to wet out. Balaclava. A bit old school, but they're brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant. I probably carry it in my rucksack. I carry it all the time in my rucksack, and I probably use it 2 or 3 times a year. And every time I use it, I'm absolutely so glad that I did take it with me. Again, the kind of gloves that I'll be using and hat that I'll be using all the time, so I keep that near the top somewhere. Inside the pocket here, really essential pieces of kit. First aid kit. Be realistic about what you can carry. Generally speaking, you're going to be using plasters for these pesky little, I'm going to speak Norwegian now, pesky little blisters. Blisters, that's the word I'm looking for. Blisters and cuts on the hand. Unfortunately, there can be other types of injury which are normally kind of blunt trauma injuries where you fall or get hit by rocks. And you can carry things to help you with that, but you really are going to need emergency services. So think about the first aid kit. Blisters and cuts, but also some bandages for blunt trauma injuries. Sports tape for everything. Injuries, blunt trauma, blisters, repairing jackets, putting tape on your instructor's mouth so he doesn't speak anymore, you name it. Again, I see people sometimes carrying really big first aid kits, and I kind of wonder, really, you know, are you really going to stitch someone up in the field on a one-day trip? They're not going to let you do it unless they're completely out of it. Again, glacier glasses. You try crossing a glacier, even in a whiteout with lots of sun above and it's white, completely cloud covered, without sunglasses, you're going to really hurt your eyes. Good quality glacier glasses. Head torch, spare batteries, essential. Maybe not so much in the summertime when there's light all around the clock, but this time of now, end of August, September, it's getting dark about 8 or 9 o'clock. Essential. Sun cream. For vampires like me, this is absolutely essential. Going from completely vampire to a spanked lobster in a second, I need to have factor 50 every time I go out. Compass, essential, really essential piece of kit. Doesn't require any batteries, and it's very good for navigating, essential for navigating. In it goes in the top. Again, just have to dig out. Map in a plastic cover to keep it dry. Absolutely essential. You should not go in the mountains without it. Make sure you've got the right one. I have done that once in Scotland many years ago. Took the wrong map. Luckily I was able to correct that pretty quickly. Something to drink. Something warm to drink. Something cold to drink. Lots of water in Norway, but often when you start going up the glacier, as soon as you get there, there's no more water. So you think how much you need to carry the whole day. Pop it in. Lunch. Now you may have noticed behind I have this very old sleeping mat. I cut it to 3/4 of length. Absolutely essential. I've spoken to some people who have needed to be rescued in the Jotunheim, and I've asked them, was there anything you felt that you needed which you didn't have? And they all said to me, one of these sleeping mats. I've cut mine to 3/4 length. This is a Z one, really fantastic because you can just, I use it most of the time for sitting having my lunch on. But if you're going to be sitting in the snow after an injury for any length of time, this is going to be essential. Really lightweight. No excuses for not taking one. Strap it to the side. So, there you go. Not very heavy, but it's all there. You can share some of that with your mates. Other things I would take if I was going up a mountain like Uranostind, quite simply, is a helmet. A mountaineering axe. I want to put it in the rucksack. I would advise a mountaineering one, not a technical climbing one, and not a glacier axe. Something in between. Perfect. A harness. Something which, a lightweight harness. On this, I would have one rope brake on a screw carabiner. I would have a carabiner with a knife, mainly used for cutting sausages, but also for slings, with 2 prospect loops for self-rescue or body rescue. One 60 sling made for 2 carabiners into an extender, so we can use it for travelling through difficult ice or use for body rescue. A 120 sling on a screw carabiner, again for self-rescue, making belays, or for body rescue, all put on a simple mountaineering harness. Again, crossing a glacier, mountaineering crampons. Again, these are essential if covering the kind of blue water ice you get here in Norway on the bottom of the ice. You see at the bottom of the Uranostind glacier, the snow has melted back and the snout is covered in exposed ice. Going to stop you from slipping. I would generally advise a mountaineering pair of crampons, not walking, or technical crampons are going to be too stiff. Mountaineering ones for the whole day. We are going to be crossing up Uranostind glacier, and there's exposed ice at the bottom. It may be, in certain situations, it's necessary to carry some ice screws. Not always essential in that type of mountain, but again, you need to ask around and find out what the glacier's like. Some ice screws. Bit old school. Snow anchor. Not necessary for all mountains in the Jotunheim or Norway, but definitely ones which are going to be crossing big snow slopes. Really good for making belays, for rescue or climbing, but also very good for protecting and traversing, and if you are crossing a glacier. Very lightweight, these ones, these new ones. Excellent piece of kit. You may be able to get away with just using axe as a beeline. And again, some sort of rope. If you're just going to do this mountain up here, a 60-meter rope wouldn't really be necessary, depending on how many people in your group. I would probably suffice to take something like 30 meters or something like that. That would be ideal. There you go. Quite a lot of kit, but that's considered to be generally the kind of kit that you would be considered essential while going to climb a mountain in the Jotunheim, especially if you're going to cross a glacier like this one on Uranostind and then going to the summit. I did talk briefly about my GPS, and I've just now realised I didn't talk about it so well. GPS, essential piece of kit here in the mountains, but this one has the ability to communicate through InReach or through a satellite. That means I can send text messages. Most of the time I send it back to my lovely wife and I say, I'm going to be delayed, everything's okay. I have an agreement with when I'm running courses that I will, if I don't get back by 5, she calls out the rescue group. I can send her a message saying everything's okay. But I can also use this for sending messages to the rescue group saying, I need help. In this valley across here and up on Urano's glacier, there is no telephone coverage. The only way you're going to be able to get coverage is by using satellite or by running all the way down. It may not be possible to run all the way down. There may not be anyone else around, like today. There's no one else on the mountains today but me. Essential piece of kit for the Jotunheim. Pop it in the bag. Okay, quite a lot of kit there, but I would really advise taking that. And remember, in Norway there is a long tradition of self-reliance in the mountains. The rescue services are always there for you, but there will be an expectation that you will have tried your very best, and that while you're waiting for them to get to you, that you can look after yourself and your group in an adequate way. Remember, here in Jotunheim, on a day like today, you could still be waiting 3 to 4 hours for rescue to come. If you don't have a GPS or a satellite communication on Uranus, you're going to have to go all the way down, go all the way, drive all the way out on Kolsdalen Road here, go to Tinholm and ask for help. And then it could take 3 or 4 hours for rescue to come. A long time to be sitting in the snow. I guarantee you'll be using your sleeping mat and all your clothes by that time, especially if you have to be out overnight. So, light is right, definitely. But also having the right essential equipment is also very necessary and important. Well, good luck, and I hope you enjoy your time going walking and mountaineering in the mountains in Norway, like I do.